That's so funny. Like, so what you doing? The voiceover?
No, the thumbnail. I'm trying to think about like what I'm gonna put as like the thumbnail.
Oh.
Do you want to do stories before?
I can't read. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop.
It's
For motherfuckers take that serious.
I kind of did too. I'm like, well, how do you be like weighed down? Makes sense. Like my whole thing.
Hell no, I just don't got no storytelling voice.
Well, when you tell me stories, you sound pretty. You know, you just gonna be in the video.
Just saw that.
That's it. Just like as an audience. Cool.
I'm here for support.
Okay. Alright. Cool. Anyway, hey, what's up? What's poppin'? It's Lyric Nicole. What's up? What's poppin'? It's Lyric Nicole.
Got a secret, can you keep it? Swear this one you save. Better lock it in your pocket, taking this one to the grave. If I show you, then I know you won't tell what I said. 'Cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.
You're so offbeat. Is what's up? What's poppin'? It's Lyric Nicole. What's up? What's poppin'? It's Lyric Nicole. It's okay. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Okay. Hey girl, hey. If you're new to my channel, then hey. But if you're not new here, then welcome back. So today, as you heard by the title, I'm gonna try my hardest to not let him make me nervous. So we got it though. Okay. Anyway, as you can see by the title, we are going to be doing spooky story time, spooky stories, spooky Halloween. Yeah, spooky Halloween stories, Halloween spooky stories.
Halloween spook. I don't know, man.
Spooky Halloween stories. There you go. We'll be doing spooky Halloween stories, and with Chatgpt. 'Cause yeah.
Definitely came through.
Yeah, definitely came through for sure. Okay.
And they be having little Easter eggs in them, so y'all gotta really be listening to this shit, man. Oh, bro.
Don't curse. Okay, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And when you do comment down below what story was the scariest. Yeah. Now let's get into it. Story number 1. The title is called "The Reflection That Breathed." Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. They say mirrors don't lie. That's not true. Mine started lying 3 nights ago. It began with something small, a fogged over mirror. I'm gonna screen record this so like they can see it on the screen. You know, yeah. There we go. Yeah. It began with something small, a fogged over mirror in the bathroom that wouldn't clear. I wiped it with my hand, leaving a streak of steam, and saw my own tired face staring back. But my reflection smiled. I hadn't. I froze. My lips were pressed together, heart pounding, but in the glass my mouth curved upward like someone else was inside me, testing how far the skin could stretch. That mug smelled like... The next morning, I convinced myself I'd imagine it. I went about my day, coffee, work, dinner, pretending everything was fine. But that night, when I brushed my teeth, I noticed something worse. The reflection blinked a beat too late, like a puppet that hadn't yet caught the signal. The delay grew longer every night. I even recorded it once. My phone caught the lag clear as day. But when I played the video back, the footage was blank, just blackness, like the mirror was a void that refused to be seen. On the 4th night, I covered the mirror with a towel. When I woke up, the sun was on the floor, soaked. The towel was on the floor, soaked, not the sun.
I ain't gonna lie, yo, reflection blinking at you late as hell, folks. That's That's like a personal feel, folks. Like,
that would have really scared me.
You feel me?
And in a minute,
that reminds me of
smile.
that. Yeah. That movie.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I see your Easter egg. You know that Easter. You don't get say. I gotta. Okay. We gonna re-say that. When I woke up, the towel was on the floor, soaked, not the sun. I don't know where I got the sun from. The glass was fogged again, but this time a handprint was pressed from the inside. The condensation, I don't know why I said it like that, had gathered around the fingers, making them look almost alive, pulsing. I thought about calling someone, a friend, a priest, anyone. But how do you explain something like that without sounding insane? I don't care, I still would have like, I don't care if y'all believe me, I'm just letting y'all know what I saw. Because I seen it. I ain't tweaking. I ain't crazy. Like, I saw it. With my own 2 eyes. On the real.
I would have been trying to record that shit, man.
He said he did record it. Remember, he said he recorded, but when I played the video back, the footage was blank, just blackness.
Oh, dang.
Like, and then it said like the mirror was a void that refused to be seen.
Dang.
Sorry, y'all. Go back. Keep going. Keep up. Last night, I decided to end it. I grabbed a hammer from the toolbox and stood in front of that cursed mirror. My reflection was already waiting, smiling again. But this time, I noticed something new. Behind me, was another figure. Tall, wrong. Its limbs were long, bending at odd angles. Its mouth a black line that stretched across where its face should be. I turned around, nothing there. When I looked back, the thing was closer. It stood right beside my reflection, its fingers resting on my shoulders.
Shit.
I swung the hammer, the mirror shattered. The sound it made wasn't glass, it screamed. And now, the wall where the mirror was is breathing. The wall? Breathe. Imagine your wall breathing. It's slow, wet, like lungs filling with air behind plaster. Remember you read this part? I did not see that. It said the wall was breathing. It's slow, wet, like lungs filling with air behind plaster. Every night I hear the faint tapping. Sometimes whispers. Sometimes my own voice. It says my name. It says, you're late. No, I should say that.
Like,
hold on, I'm saying that over. It says, you're late. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that's spicy. Okay. How did y'all like that story? Rate that 1 out of 10. You rate it 1 out of 10.
Shit, I give it a decent little 7, 8 because, like, who hasn't looked in the mirror and then like thought of that shit? Like, what if this motherfucker just start moving? Or you feel me?
But I wouldn't like when I did. I was younger because I used to watch like scary little pop-ups, and I remember it was this one little girl in the window. I mean, not the window, in the mirror, and like she was like brushing her hair or doing something. Then she looked back, and then the other thing didn't like move with her. I said, "Oh heck no!" That might be scary back then.
You ever did Bloody Mary?
No, I don't. Yes, no. Candyman. I think we've only did Candyman. I don't remember doing Bloody Mary though.
I got a comment if y'all did Bloody Mary.
But we did, you ever did, what is it called? Charlie? Oh my goodness. Them never used to move. I don't know if it moved with you, but it didn't move with us. It used to be people kind of like, trying to blow it on the side. Like, nigga, I see you. Ninja, I see you.
Oh, hold up.
But, you sure you don't want to? Yeah, come on. Story number 2.
The story number 2, and it's called The Hungry Door. Alright.
The Hungry Door.
The cabin didn't look haunted. That was the problem. It was too perfect. Neatly stacked logs, a red tin roof, and a porch swing that moved even when it wasn't wind. Ethan and Callie booked it for a quiet evening. They had been arguing too much in the city, so a weekend in the woods was supposed to fix things. You know how that go.
There I go.
No phones, no stress. Callie had said, just us.
Just us.
Trying to vibe it out for the night.
Vibe.
But the quiet here was heavy. It wasn't a pace, it was pleasure. The first night, Ethan noticed the basement door. Old wood, black hinges, no handle, just a rusty keyhole like a staring eye. It was bolted shut with 3 iron latches. He asked Carly about it. Probably just doors, she said, but her voice was shook a little bit. That night, while she slept, Ethan cut it. He kept hearing thumps below the floorboards.
Speak up just a little bit, baby.
My bad. Faint, irregular.
Got a low. He talk low.
Funny, y'all gotta turn y'all ears up, bro. I talk low.
Just turn them up a little bit. Use your earbud. Whatever you need.
Faint, irregular, like something dragging across dirt. Once he thought he heard whispering, not words, just sound, almost like chewing. In the morning he mentioned it. Carly brushed it off. Mice, she said, it's an old cabin. But by night 2, the noise was louder, wet, hungry. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, bro. ChatGPT throwing me off with all these motherfuckers. At 2:14 a.m., Ethan got up and crept to the basement door with a flashlight. He crouched, put his ear against it and froze. There was breathing on the other side, slow and deep. Then it mimicked him, inhaling what he did, exhaling what he didn't. Something pressed against the other side of the wood, bowing it out. He staggered back, the lights flickered, and just for a moment he saw something through the keyhole, a slick, gray eyes staring back at him. He ran away Callie, but she wasn't in bed. Her shoes was gone, and the front door was wide open, letting in the cold.
Not wide open.
Man, what? Skated out on that nigga. Ninja. He followed footprints in the snow down the hill to the edge of the frozen lake. Then he stopped at the water's edge. No Callie, just the silence. When he turned back to the cabin, a light in the basement window was on. He sprinted back, shouting her name. No answer. The basement door, once sealed with 3 latches, now hung open. The air rolled out. It was thick, hot, and metallic, like blood left in a bucket. He went down 3 steps before his flashlight caught her. Callie stood in the corner facing the wall, her hands trembling, her voice tiny. It wants to be fed, she whispered.
What want to be fed?
Before he could speak, the door slammed shut behind him. Total darkness. The whispering started again, closer this time. From the walls to beneath the floor, from inside her. Callie turned her eyes milky white. So she was like, it's hungry. On phone, she did one of those. Then she said with her mouth wide open and split. The cabin was found a week later by the Rangers, responded to reports of smoke. The basement door was sealed again. 3 latches rusted tight. They never found Ethan or Callie, but the walls were warm. And every winter, when the wind gets low, people say you can hear knocking under the cabin, like someone begging to be let out or something to be wanted let in. So no.
What y'all rate that story? What you rate that story?
I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't. It was decent, folks, but the first one was better.
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright.
It was decent.
Like, we better like 5 seed. Maybe like 6. Okay.
They kept throwing me off with the motherfucking the little when they was trying to describe the setting. They talk about what else they say? Some other shit. My bad, I'm cussing you on YouTube video.
It's okay. It's gonna be like bleep, bleep, bleep.
They gonna be like,
You see that?
alright, man, I got you.
Okay. I need something.
I Gotta get ready.
Okay. Story number 3. The lake drinks twice. The other sleeping bag was already unrolled when I shouldered my pack onto the ground. It sat neat and empty on the pine duff, zipped open like a mouth waiting for someone who never came.
Like, what hit the... I'm not tweaking, but what do you mean, bro? What do you mean?
Anyway.
Stop laughing.
Nigga, did I catch you having fun?
Right. Sorry. I told myself I wasn't surprised. I convinced myself of a lot of things that weekend. That I could sleep through the fog. That I could forget the city. That solitude would be enough. I told my sister I'd be meeting a friend, Jonah. Because saying the name out loud made the drive feel less stupid. Jonah liked the lake. He liked to joke about drowning in it and getting a free tan. He didn't exist. At least I didn't know he existed until I started answering for him. The first laugh came at dusk while I stacked kindling. I thought it was a fox until it came again. A low chuckle that dovetailed perfectly with the sentence I hadn't said. You always overdo the kindling, Jonah said, as if he'd been watching me since I pulled into the lot. I looked up. The fire pit glowed. The water was a black sheet beyond the trees. The second sleeping bag looked perfectly arranged. I already convinced myself this was normal. That I set 2 packs out. One had slipped my mind, so I shrugged and went on. So she only set one out for herself or for the the friend, Jonah.
I'll see y'all later.
See you later. Okay. We ate stew out of 10 cups. He told stories I remember from college nights that I never actually lived. I laughed when I should, asked questions when I should. He had a blanket habit of tapping the rim of his cup. Okay, I had to make sure I read that right. Of his cup when he was thinking. When I woke up from a nap one afternoon, I reached out automatically for the tap, and my hand found only air. There are ways you can make company out of nothing. You invent a face from a laugh. You convince yourself a shadow on the shore is a shoulder. But the lake kept pushing the boundaries of what I could forgive myself for. One day too, I walked into town for fuel and bait. The bait shop smelled like diesel and old coffee. There was a bulletin board by the register crowded with lost dog flyers and rent notices, and thumbtacked between a faded hiring sign. In a church bake sale was a photocopy newspaper clipping. Couple vanishes near Red Cabin. Last seen leaving lake. I frowned at the names. Ethan, Callie. I seen a cabin down the road on the way in. Someone in the shop shrugged when I asked. Used to be talk around here, she said. People disappear, never more than talk. I stuck the clipping into my pocket like a seed. That night, the fog slithered in fast. It made the world small and soft edged. Jonah said he liked it. That fog was honest because it hid everything at once. He liked the lake in a way I had never known to like anything. He liked to walk the shoreline and hum until the sound sank into the reeds. I listened. Sometimes I hummed too. Sometimes we sang at the same bar at different times in notes we never met. The first real crooked thing was the footprints. In the morning I went down to the water to wet my hands, and there were 2 sets of prints leading from the campsite to the lip of the lake. 2 perfect pairs. One wide and heavy, one narrow and quick. I followed them. They stopped at the water and then, oddly, switched. One went shallow in the mud and kept going into the lake, and the other turned back to the trees and disappeared. I stood and waited for Jonah to pull himself from the black, maybe to laugh that it was just a trick of erosion, but the water stayed smooth as glass. The only sound was my breath. I recorded a message for my sister that night. It's beautiful, I said into the phone, and then Jonah argued with me beside argue with me beside me about how the loons were just big ghouls in costumes. When I played it back later at the fire, there was only my voice. No interruption, no second voice. The file was a single line of me talking to a man who, friend or illusion, who had ridden the full weekend with me. Sorry. Okay. Get it together. If it had been only Bro, what the heck? Okay. If it had been only those small things, an absent response on a tape, footprints that behaved like clever lieutenants, I might have chalked it up to fatigue. But the lake wanted a shape and it was patient. It borrowed identity from me. It borrowed my cadence. I would wake up from a doze to find a cigarette crushed in the dirt where only I smoked. Yet when I lit it, it would be cold and damp. Once I woke to the taste of copper on my tongue and the sounds of footsteps circling the tent until the zipper frayed the air. At 2 a.m, the fog was so thick the hand lamp turned the world into a single spherical halo. Jonah, my Jonah, said he wanted to go out on the water. Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
He said it in such a plain way I almost believed him. I went anyway. Boots sinking in wet, pine needles, breath feathering ahead. The shoreline was a knife of silver. A fatigue stood waist deep. Oh my goodness. A figure stood waist deep. A figure stood waist deep. Shoulders hunched against the fog, humming that half song looked like a lullaby I almost remembered. It's goddamn. Okay.
That's only the first two.
First three. This is their story. Jonah, I called. The figure turned. For a second, the face was mine. I stepped back so hard I hit a rock and my elbow cut across it. The blood was bright and immediate, very much mine. The figure was gone, swallowed as if the fog had been a mouth. When I stumbled back to the campsite, my sleeping bag was zipped up, neat as a promise. There were no prints back from the water. There were, however, prints leading out into the woods that vanished halfway up the incline. By dawn, I had become the thing I had gone to escape. Someone who answered to the sound of his own name because he wanted the company to be true. I started keeping a small recorder on my chest, a habit at first, then a hardness of evidence. If I was making this up, I would at least have proof. 2 recordings later, the proof was cruel. The march of my own step, then a soft laugh I knew, then my voice saying, "Don't go in." Wow. The timestamps were impossible. The laugh and my command overlapped, both recorded in separate places. On the recorder that sat by the fire was a voice I heard at twilight repeat the same joke Jonah told me on day one, word for word. On the recorder, zipped to my jacket, there was no such laugh, only the hiss of the fire in my breath. The lake learned how to do memory and then how to return it imperfectly. It was as if it had a library of me and pulled out pages at will. The more I argued with it, the more it rearranged. That evening, I walked to the door and stood over the water until the world was only my reflection. In the moon and the ripple where the moth hit the surface. It was then I noticed the water didn't reflect me cleanly. The person in the dark water smiled after I had stopped smiling. When I stopped to touch it, the skin on my knuckles felt the cold like someone else's. The surface accepted me, not as a refusal, but as a deal. A voice rose from the reeds, soft, patient, like a clock resetting. It said, "It drinks twice." I laughed then because there was nothing else to do, but it wasn't a laugh my throat owned. I laughed then because there was nothing else to do, but it wasn't a laugh my throat owned. It came from somewhere deep and rootless. "What do you mean?" I asked, and the fog rearranged itself into a man stepping out of the lake, wet like a confession. He looked like me, older and kinder and very tired. He sat on the dock like he belonged. What if it's just like his dad or something?
That's a demon, man.
I know, but he said he looked like me, older and kinder.
It could be.
Like a grandpa or something. Yeah, maybe. Okay. Let me shut up and read. You think it takes the body, he said. That's the first drink. That's the clean one. The second is quieter. It takes the story, the friends, the reasons. The part that says I was here and mattered. I should have left then. I should have packed and driven until the trees were only 2 picks in my rearview and the fog never found me again. Instead, I sat because I wanted to argue that it couldn't take much, that stories can be told again. I reached out. The man in the water reached out too. Our fingers met over slick wood. For a long second, we were 2 separate things, and the skin thin like tissue. I think what followed was both. I think my mind began to hollow as the lake did, what it had been learning to do. Perhaps I walked away and told the story and someone believed me. Perhaps I slid off the dock and the water closed above my head like a page. If someone reads this and wondered whether I was alone the whole time, rather Jonah was a trick of exhaustion, believe me when I say this, I remember both versions. I remember warmth of a body beside me and the echo of my own laugh. And I remember reaching to hold someone who could not be held. The last thing I heard before the sound went thin and the recorder filled with static was a voice, not mine, not his, saying with this perfect calm, we'll keep you warm, we'll take twice to be sure. Then the line in the water smudged into nothing. The water said that? Oh, I'm like, what? Okay, wait, sorry. The last thing I heard before the sound went thin and the recorder filled with the static was a voice, not mine, not his, saying with the perfect calm, we'll keep you warm. We take twice to be sure. Then the line in the water smudged into nothing. If you ever come here and find 2 sets of prints heading out to the lake, follow them. One will stop where it should. The other will keep going. If you listen, the water will hum a bar of a song you think you should know. Keep walking away. Keep your hands in your pockets. Keep your light. The lake drinks twice. It likes to be thorough.
So basically, the lake, if you go by the lake, it's going to play with your mental, I feel like. Because he was just saying he don't know if Jonah real or not. And he remembered both versions he said on the phone. So I definitely feel like he either could imagine them because of the lake, or he was a real person that he met at the lake. But I don't know. I think he imagined though. And the lake made him. You feel me? I don't know, like playing tricks on him type shit. I don't know.
But like at first, like in the middle of the story,
it make it seem like he there type shit.
That's at the beginning. But then the person I was gonna say, because I'm not sure if it's a he or a she, but Jonah. Oh wait, didn't it say it was a girl or boy? No. But at the beginning, they said I convinced myself to give it a name because like that's what felt normal, instead of saying, oh, this imaginary person. So she just gave it the name Jonah. So she knew that he or she knew that, you know, they were going to a campsite with this quote unquote person, and that's why they had an extra sleeping bag. My thing is, Jonah was a real person and she felt his presence. And she didn't start seeing like real. He or she didn't start seeing like real evidence of it until it got to the campsite, because the footprints, the sleeping bag, it was something else. It was something else. I forgot. But that, and then
the footprints.
Yeah, I said the footprints. Oh yeah, and the cigarette butt. Yeah, so all of that, I feel like maybe it could have been a real person. Maybe he was just like, and he or she finally saw like the real Jonah, and like since Jonah passed away, maybe he passed away at the campsite, because remember he was like, he just sat down like he belonged there. So maybe he like passed at the campsite and then he was always around like the person or whatever, and maybe something he led her to the campsite and she finally seen him, like was able to see him. But
folks was laid to rest, soul was at peace.
Yeah.
Said, fuck it, my homie died here, I'm finna die here too.
But it's crazy though, because that wasn't really spooky. That was more so like
something to make you think.
Yeah, and like cause I had an imaginary friend. Like I used to tell my dad, make her a plate and get an attitude if he didn't make her a plate. So he would make her a plate and nobody would not get touched. Literally, he would just put it up. Ask him, he tell you. All my whole family would tell. Like, it's crazy. I don't know, but like I had an imaginary friend. And her name was Kaka. I used to tell them, they'd be like, oh, where's she at? Oh, she moved to Florida. That was the last. I promise you, I ain't never talked or heard about that girl again. You see, I don't know if I was seeing her back then. I don't remember seeing nobody, but I think I remember hearing something about it.
Like, when you was little, have you ever, like...
Oh, my God.
You ever heard your name being called all the time? And nobody would be calling you?
I do that now. Like, I do that now. I be like, did somebody just call me? Yeah, that happens to me now. Sometimes it is somebody calling my name, but that's like really, really rare. Like, it's rare. Majority of the time, I be looking around like, did somebody just... And there's nobody there. Like, I be like, well, you? Unreal. Cause I ain't thinking nothing. Ain't nothing crazy following me. Ain't nothing following me. Supernatural following me, but the Lord. Unreal. But yeah, this video is 35 minutes long, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it was only supposed to be 30 minutes long. I was supposed to read y'all like 10 stories, but I was long, so I'm actually gonna do a part two, and I'm gonna make them shorter, so like, you know, just a little shorter, because I like reading long stories, but not that dang long. That was long. I was running out of breath.
I think that was probably the longest one though, for real.
And excuse me, it said Ethan and Callie, so I wonder like that didn't seem to correlate.
If you paying attention on to the first 3 of them, you probably already been seen a little, you know. They didn't caught on to a little something. Cause it
what was in the last one?
You probably did PEEP, but they'd be having references to each other. Like, I think in the second story, it had, it talked like a little hint, like, that was the lake, right? It said something just about the cabin.
Yeah, I peeped that.
Bro.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I just mentioned it. It had Ethan and Callie in it, so I thought the stories were gonna. Yeah, they didn't correlate, but they. Yeah, it had something in it. Like, I thought the same thing that happened to Ethan and Callie was gonna happen to that person, but I see what you did there. That's nice.
Easter egg.
That was good. But yeah, I'm aware. I don't know. We're gonna do a part 2. We're gonna do a part 2, and like I said, it's gonna be shorter, but I hope y'all liked it, and don't forget to comment below on which one y'all liked, and follow all my social medias down below. And yeah, your girl LJ is out. Deuces.